just trying to improve my performance. And that distributor is actually here today. I think over in this section over here, Carla Kroger, still involved with Shaklee. There we are. Hey, give Carla a hand. So I was introduced to Shaklee through a distributor. And over the next few years, I started using more and more Shaklee products as I went to college as an athlete and then started my professional career. I was using Shaklee products as I competed for the 2004 and 2008 Olympics. And we have a saying in the Olympics that the difference between first and fourth place is judged by less than half of 1%. So I was using Shaklee to become one of the best athletes in the world, to gain that half of 1%. But the more I got into sports, the better I became. I also came under the very strict drug testing protocols of the Olympics. And as I've described to many of you before, we have a 24/7, 365, no advance notice drug testing policy. That means that the drug testing officers could show up at my house at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock on a Thursday morning or 9 o'clock on a Saturday night and require that I give a sample that they can test and ensure that I'm not using any illegal drugs. And if anything is found in my system as an Olympic athlete, I could get a 2-year ban and miss the next Olympics. It's devastating. And as a side effect of that, even if you did not know you were taking a tainted product, you're still held to the same level of liability. But as I researched Shaklee products, I found how amazing they were. The quality standards that Shaklee goes to ensure that their products are the best on the market are simply unmatched. And so I took Shaklee with great confidence. But like most of you, you know that when you find out something like this, you can't keep it to yourself, right? So I wanted to share it. And a couple of years ago, I partnered with Shaklee and we created Shaklee's Pure Performance Team. This is a team of some of the best athletes in the world who are also under the most strict drug testing protocols in the world. And for those of you who were with us last year at the MGM in Las Vegas, you saw some of our athletes. We sent 17 athletes to the London Games, and they came home with 7 medals. And they were all using Shaklee products, and they were all getting drug tested there, but they were all confident because they knew about the quality. But that's not where it ended. We have another saying in the Olympics that it's not every 4 years, it's every day. And they went on, and since the Olympics, they've won national titles. They've broken 4 world records. They've shared their Shaklee stories with their friends and around the world. We've taken athletes to Taiwan, to Tokyo, and we've been over to China, almost 10 cities in China, with our great friend Philip Wong and the Chinese delegation. We've been able to spread the word to over 50,000 people in the last year. But while it's fun to talk about those numbers, what gets me excited is the one story of sharing one at a time. About 4 weeks ago, I got a phone call from a young lady. She was a gold medalist on that London women's 8 rowing team. And she said, Eli, I've decided to go for the 2016 games and compete for my second gold medal. And I'd like to partner with Shaklee and use Shaklee products to do it. And I said, well, what brought you to this decision? What was it about Shaklee? And she said, I've seen a lot of athletes over the years endorse products that they don't actually use. She was in the boat with 4 Shaklee athletes, and she said, Eli, all of your athletes actually use the products, and they shared the products with me, and I want to use those products now too. That gets me excited. So, athletes are sharing with athletes, and it's growing and growing. We've now got nearly 30 athletes who have won a total of about 20 Olympic medals, who are part of the Pure Performance program. And as it's been growing, we've added some team members on as well. We have a new team manager for the Pure Performance team, who most recently came to us from the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency is the drug testing agency that tests us and makes sure that we're clean. She worked there for 2 years, educating athletes on the dangers of supplements. And now she's educating athletes on the benefits of Shaklee. How it's safe to take Shaklee. But before that, she was a very highly accomplished athlete, an Olympic gold medalist herself. She would have loved to be here today, but you'll hear from her down the road. Her name's Natalie Barlson, and she will be a team leader who comes on board and helps us as we grow this program out. And I believe that in the next Winter Olympics, we're going to grow to even more athletes, and by the summer, I think there'll be hundreds of athletes using these amazing products. So we are so excited about where we're going. That's a Shaklee effect. But today, I'd like to share with you some other stories as well. Shaklee is largely about family. You're a Shaklee family. And one of the greatest families in Olympic sport is the DeMay family in diving. They've been a dynasty. They've won over 50 national medals. That's not a team, that's a family. 5 Olympic pearls, 8 world medals. And last year, you met Justin DeMay. Today, I'd like to welcome out Justin, who would like to talk a little bit more about the first family of diving, the DeMay family.